Okay, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly dungeon master for this evening. With us tonight is someone who's was a regular feature on the Live from the Sword Coast podcast, but has been absent for a few months and is making his triumphant return tonight to play some Star Wars with us. Nick.
Hello. My name is Nick Entz. I've been playing with Kevin and the group for two years. I don't know how long.
I think it's got to be 3 years now.
3 years? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
3 years. And this is my first Star Wars RPG. I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Okay, why don't you give a very brief synopsis of the two characters you're playing this evening?
So this evening I am playing Pash, a well-versed pilot, and recently escaping the claws of a Hutt named
Timo.
I wanted to say Tiamat, but that is not the case.
It's not the case. No.
And then also a Wookiee, who is a melee weapons master in gladiatorial games and used as a hired kind of bodyguard as well in Lork.
Yeah. So this is Lork and Pash. Now, for those listening at home, this is actually the adventure from the Star Wars Edge of Empire beginner game published by Fantasy Flight Games. If you have not played the adventure in the beginner game and you intend on playing this at some point, I would encourage you to wait until you're finished playing that because there will be spoilers for that adventure in here. If not, so the adventure is designed to teach players and DMs the system. If you don't have any intention on playing it, but you're curious about the system, this may be a good way to sort of see how this system comes together. Without further ado, we will launch into our opening crawl. So, Nick, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, escape from Mos Shuta. It is a period of unrest and opportunity in the galaxy. The Galactic Empire struggles to maintain control in the midst of civil war. Meanwhile, scoundrels and smugglers, explorers and expatriates, and fringers of all types scramble for a living on the edges of galactic civilization. It's a hard life, but these renegades have more freedom and opportunity than any citizen of the core worlds. On the desert world of Tatooine, a few such renegades have run afoul of a local crime boss, Timo the Hutt. Trapped in the tiny spaceport of Mos Shuta, the renegades have no choice but to steal a starship and flee Timo's forces. Fortunately, a suitable starship has recently docked at the landing bay, a freighter called the Krayt Fang, captained by a Trandoshan slaver named Trex. As they flee through the sun-baked streets, the renegades duck into the local cantina to hide from their pursuers. And then we would pan down to a big ochre-colored world with two suns. We would wipe cut to the streets of Mos Shuta. To let you know, so Mos Shuta is a town on Tatooine. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Nick, that Tatooine is, of course, a desert planet. Right. That is under the chubby thumb of the Hutt clans. Mos Shuta happens to be built on the top of kind of some bluffs. So this is there's the map of Mos Shuta, and this is the cantina down here. Timo's palace, incidentally, is right over here where Timo lives. So, you guys, you step down a short flight of stairs into the cantina's shadowy common room. You could kind of see the two of you racing through the streets, trying to avoid Timo's Gamorrean Gamorrean guards that have been sent out to try and capture you, the escaped slave and the renegade smuggler. You sort of can picture maybe Pash ducks down into sees the cantina, starts running down the stairs. Lower kind of turns around and positions himself as if he's going to fight, and then Pash grabs him and is like, "Get in here," and you pulls him inside the cantina. The cool air of the cantina's common room is a blessed relief from the scorching heat of Tatooine. The Devaronian bartender. The Devaronians are those guys with the horns on their head. The Devaronian bartender pauses in his chores to stare at you, his devilish features intimidating. On a stage against the far wall, a Twi'lek woman with the long tentacles on their head, a Twi'lek woman dances to recorded music. Private booths line the walls, and the cantina floor is scattered with tables and chairs. A few patrons turn in their seats to stare at you. The only other exits you see from the room are what appear to be a storage closet in one corner and a doorway behind the Twi'lek dancer. The arched roof above you is supported by thick, heavy struts. You only have a few moments to find a hiding place before Timo's thugs arrive. What do you do? Did we lose your audio again? There we go.
I would probably know this cantina, right?
Pash probably would, yes.
Right. Is there private rooms?
There's not, no. No, this is going to be like Styx part of Tatooine itself is probably the dead spot of I can't remember how Luke describes it, but like the furthest place in the galaxy or from whatever anything interesting happening. Right. That, but also even smaller.
Okay. We'll go with the door behind the dancer.
Door behind the dancer? Okay. So how are you planning on, are you trying to muscle your way past her, or are you, because it's going to be up on the stage and then down around the other side? Are you trying to charm your way past her, or what? Or intimidate? Intimidate, incidentally, is coerce.
She's not really guarding it, right?
No, but I mean, what will happen is as soon as you try and get up on the stage to go, she'll probably react in some way.
Right. What other exits did we see? Or did I see?
None. There's the door you came in. There's a storage closet. There's booths along the wall, and there is there's a door that leads somewhere on the other side of the stage.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll go up there. And who's after us? Just like kind of guards?
It's so some of Timo's thugs.
Right. Okay.
Oh, and you guys have each suffered 2 strains so far from the heat.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just go up there, and then I guess we'll just see how she reacts. But we're just going to be heading for that exit.
Okay. So you start. Well, I mean, you're not sure if it's an exit. It's a door leading somewhere.
Right.
But okay, so you start making your way towards there, and as you're doing it, she starts saying she sees you're sort of rushing the stage, and she says, "No, no, no, not up here. No, no, no."
And then we'll just say, "Oh no, it's okay. We're just inspectors," and then we'll just keep on going.
Okay. So why don't you make a that's a deceit check. So okay. What I'd like you to do is make a you're gonna make a skill check using Pash's deceit. I'm assuming it's gonna be Pash because Loic doesn't speak basic.
Right.
So his deceit is 1 yellow, 2 green. And the difficulty is 1 purple, but I'm also going to add a black die in there as well because that's a terrible excuse. We're inspectors. Inspecting what?
So I have 2 explosions and 3 Jedis.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's actually. Sorry, did you include the purple and the black dice in there?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so what that means is that is one success. Oh, sorry, how many successes?
2.
Two successes and 3 advantage.
They
Okay,
must have been expecting an inspector.
yeah, she's like, you don't know if she's been drinking or is just delirious under the light or what. But she immediately says, "Oh, of course, yes, go right ahead." Doesn't blink an eye or bat an eye at the big Wookiee who's crawling up, on the stage as well. Okay, so you guys crawl across the stage and then throw the door slides open. You race in there with enough time to sort of pull the little curtain back and look out back into the room to see if you're being pursued. And moments after you hide yourself, a pair of pig-like Gamorreans, and you may recall Gamorreans look like this.
Right.
Pair of pig-like Gamorreans carrying heavy, bone-breaking clubs step through the door. Teemu's enforcers. They blink their beady little eyes in the gloom and peer about. They're surveying the whole crowd. Then, seeing nothing of interest, they grunt and whine in their primitive language and turn to go. You know they'll keep looking for you until you take them out. With their backs turned, it's the perfect moment to strike.
Okay, what do we see in this room that we're in?
Well, you're not in this room. It's a dressing room. There is unfortunately no way out here.
Okay.
These guards are going to be like there's going to be more of these ones that are pursuing you. If you take these 2 out, that's 2 less Gamorreans who then would what do you call it? Then would be looking for you, and
Right.
you'll get the jump on them.
Is there anything of worth in this dressing room?
You're really not spending. It's not foremost in your mind right now. Do you mean
Right.
like a value to it in a fight? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'll take out my blaster
Okay. So
and put my silencer on.
yeah. There's no silencer. Okay. So here's how initiative works in this game. Is normally what you do is you would make a skill test to determine sort of what the order of initiative is. But once you determine that order, what you get to do is decide which of the PCs go when. Like all there is that determines how many PC slots and how many NPC slots there are. So in this case, because you guys succeeded in the hiding check, you get to act before the Gamorreans do. So it'll be 2 PCs, then an NPC, and you decide which order it works in. So who would like to go first, Pash or Loic? And I think I can't hear you again. And you're back.
Loic will go first.
Loic will go first. Okay, cool. So Loic gets, like I said, an action and a maneuver, and then he can trade his action for a maneuver as well, or he can take an extra maneuver and just suffer 2 strain.
But if he does that, he can take both of them out at one time?
No.
No?
What?
Or it just allows him to do more maneuvers?
What does Loic want to use? Does he want to use his? Has he drawn a blaster pistol, or has he got his vibro axe out? The Gamorreans on the other side of the room are at short range. What that means is it'll be a maneuver to get to engage with them, or it'll be a maneuver to I guess really move anywhere you want in the bar.
He'll use his vibro axe.
Okay, so it hums to life. And does he want to move over there then to engage? Yeah. Okay, so go ahead, and then what he'll do, so his maneuver will be to race over there, and then his attack. Now, normally, You're just going to be using your melee skill, which is 1 yellow and 3 green. But I'm also going to give you, and it's against a difficulty of 2 purple.
Okay.
But I'm also going to give you a blue die boost because they don't know what's coming.
Okay. So 1 yellow, 3 green against 2 purple and a blue, and I also get a blue.
You also get a blue. That's right. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Go ahead and roll.
I got 1 Jedi symbol and 1 lightsaber symbol.
Oh, okay. So the Jedi symbol is advantage. The other one is a symbol called we haven't talked about triumph. Triumph and despair are the 2 sort of extremes. Those are like critical hits in other games or critical rolls, critical successes. Triumph, it means not only does something it counts as a success, but it also means something awesome happens.
Oh,
So
okay,
that's
cool.
the total. Then you get 1 success, which means your damage for your vibro axe is a 7 plus 1 success is 8. That is more, than their wound threshold and soak. And then with a triumph, here's what you can do. Okay, I'm going to say just make the decision for you here if you don't mind. What I'm going to do is upgrade your Pash's attack. So basically what happens is Lorik goes racing in, maybe does a Wookiee kind of like, gladiator yell. The 2 Gamorreans have enough time to look part way around, and then sort of one of the Gamorreans sees the other one cleaved kind of clean in 2 and drop down. He staggers back and kind of just starts squealing and stands still in place. Now it is Pash's turn. Now Pash gets, so in it at short range. Short range is a difficulty of 1, so 1 purple. But because, you know what? I'm also going to say because of Triumph, this guy staggered back enough away from Lorik that he's not engaged. He's not in melee with him, so it's not going to be harder to hit him.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it's going to be difficulty is 1 purple. You get a blue from the what do you call it? From him being unaware, like from you guys sort of surprising them. And here's how upgrade works: is if you take a step up, you get to convert 1 of your green dice into a yellow dice, and if you converted all of them into yellow, you get another green.
Okay.
Okay. And it works the same way in reverse. If you upgrade the difficulty, then same thing. A purple becomes a red, or if you're all reds, it becomes a new purple.
So what? I get 2 yellows and 1 green?
Let's see. His blast. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. 2 yellows, 1 green, and a blue against 1 purple.
Oh, 2 yellows, 1 green, 1 blue. Okay.
Okay. And go ahead and make your attack.
I got a 1 success and 1 Jedi.
Jedi is advantage.
Okay.
1 success and 1 advantage. So success means your damage is the damage of your blaster pistol plus the successes. So you did 7 points of damage. So that you hit him. He's not dead, but he's quite badly hurt. And for 1 point of advantage, what you can do is you can recover 1 point of strain. You can add a blue die to one of your allies' next attacks against that person. You can, and then that's really it with just 1. So, would you like to maybe add a blue to Lorik's next attack?
Is this something that you have to do immediately, like on the next turn, basically?
Yeah, you have to choose what you're going to do.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you hit him, and he sort of like it turns him. So now he's still stock still, but his sort of attention is towards you. Okay, and on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cool check for him because I don't know if he's going to actually be able to act this turn. I think he may still be too 2 stun cool his presence. Oh yeah, I got a success. So yeah, he. I didn't roll a difficulty. Hold up. No. Okay, so he is not going to act this round. He sort of is just, kind of just squeals out in pain and fear. Top of the round, it's Lower. What's he doing?
He will make a second attack.
Okay. So this time it's against 2. So he's going to use a maneuver to engage. So he races in to engage with the guy. He can, and then he gets a boost from Pash. So whatever your vibro axe attack or your brawl skill is, or melee skill is, plus the blue against a difficulty of 2 purple.
Okay. I just have 3 advantages.
3 advantages. Okay, so here's what you can do with 3 advantages. Is you could, you could gain +1 to your melee or ranged defense until the end of your next turn. What that means is, if this thing tries to attack you, it would have a black die added to the to its roll.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Or you could use, you'd use any of those advantage points to get rid of strain. Right now you've got 2 strain, or you could add, you could get rid of 2 strain and you could add a blue die to Pash's next attack.
Okay. I'll add a blue die to Pash's.
Okay. And then you've got 2 other dice left. You want to use it to get rid of strain?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have no strain now. So what does it look like? You don't make contact, but what does it look like?
Basically, I feel as though he's like swinging, and because the other guy's still kind of reeling from the blaster hits, he kind of just swings and misses.
Yeah. So it's the most nimble this Gamorrean has ever been in his life. And he's going this way and that way, but he's making himself a fairly good target for Pash. Okay, so now Pash, you're up next, and the difficulty for firing against an engaged target is whatever the range is +1. So you're firing against a red, 1 red die, and it'll be whatever your attack is plus the blue you got from Lower. And I'll point out that you could actually use a maneuver to aim and gain another boost.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Okay, so that means you can have 2 blues, whatever your blaster pistol range light skill is. So it'd be 2 blues, 1 yellow, 2 greens against 2 purples.
2 purples and a red, or?
Oh, I'm sorry, not 2 purples. 1 red.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Ooh, okay. I have 2 hits.
Okay.
2 advantages.
Okay.
And 1 triangle in a circle with the red.
Oh, does it look like this? Like this one here?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's actually a despair. Okay, so what a despair is like a threat. It counts as a failure, but it's worse. In the same way that triumph is amazing, despair is awful. So what happened? Here's typically what we use that for is you fire the blaster. It does 6 damage plus your 2 successes, 8 damage. The thing goes down. And then you hear it kind of go, whoop, 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 as you're like, shit, that was the last shot it had.
Okay.
So your blaster pistol is empty. But the what do you call it? After Lorik's swinging that vibro axe around, it finally hits this Gamorrean and it drops down still on the ground. Now, so the Gamorreans are defeated. The silence that follows is broken. So there's a dead silence that falls over the crowd, and then there's a slow, unamused applause that's coming from one source. You guys look over and you see the Deveronian bartender walks from behind his bar and laughs a brittle little laugh. I guess you're folks who need to get off planet in a hurry. The good news for you is that I happen to know that there's a freighter in Landing Bay Orek right now. The bad news is that its captain Trex is an associate of the Hutts and won't just let you on. The other bad news is that the reason I know it's still in the landing bay is that it has a broken hypermatter reactor igniter and won't be flying anywhere until it gets a new one installed. And I bet Vorn over at the junk shop has one. And he points at the door. So why don't you go there and get the hell out of my joint? What do you guys do? Nope, lost audio again.
I will nod to him and holster my pistol, grab Lorik's blaster.
Okay.
And we'll head on over there.
Lorik kind of growls at you as you take it. Okay. So.
Can we search the guys here? Do they have anything useful for us?
No, I mean they're Gamorreans are like barbarians who happen to live in a interstellar civilization. You maybe look in one pocket. Pash is like, look, check his pocket to see if there's a blaster in there, and Lorik does a. The only thing of value they have is really these clubs.
Okay.
If you want to take one of the clubs, you're welcome to that, but
they don't have like keys or anything like that.
No, not really. No.
Okay.
So the you know that the streets are filled. Okay, here's the other thing that happens at the end of a fight is you get to recover strain equal to your presence or your cool, whichever is higher, your cool rating. So Pash, you recover 3 strain, and Lorik recovers 2. So you guys have no strain now.
Nice.
Okay. Now, what is sort of your strategy? The streets of the sun-baked streets or suns-baked streets of Mos Shuta will be teeming with more of these Gamorrean guards. To get to, actually, why don't you make a streetwise check for me for Pash against a difficulty of 2, 2 purples.
2 purples. Okay. Streetwise, 2 greens.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to grab some coffee and some water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, how'd you do? How'd you do on the streetwise check? Anyways.
Just grab some water too.
Oh, sure. How'd you do on the streetwise check?
I failed and got 1 advantage.
Phil got 1 advantage. Okay. So you don't. You've never actually met Vosh. Is that his name, Vosh? Junk shop named Vorn. You actually haven't met Vorn before, but what you heard of is that he's a droid hater, and he's an older guy, and he isn't necessarily, you've heard he's not necessarily the most ethical of dealers, which isn't shocking for a place like Mos Shuta. Right. So that's sort of, you've heard enough about him so that you're forearmed as to what to expect when you're going in.
Okay.
Okay. So as we're getting it through the streets of Mos Shuta, the cantina, as I said, is right around here, and then there's the junkyard here and Vorn's shop right there.
Okay.
So sort of what's your thought as to how you guys are going to get there? Are you going to try and like get there as fast as you can? Are you going to try and sneak there as best you can with the, fucking 8-foot tall Wookiee?
Sneak, if there's any like alleys, littler pathways through between buildings, we'll take those.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to make you do is I'm going to get you to make a each make stealth checks. But what I'm going to suggest is that Pash makes his first, because if he gets advantage on it, he can use that to try and help out.
Okay. So I got 3. What's it against?
Against a difficulty of two purples.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you 1 black die to that just because there's a lot of people out looking for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I got 3 advantages and that's it.
3 advantages and that's it. Okay. So what I'm going to say then is in order to succeed, you need to get at least 1 success on it. So what happens is you guys get out and you kind of look around, and then Pash turns around and is like, come on. And you guys start making your way through the alleyway. You get from one building to another building. There's a moment when you kind of like, whoa, you and Lower duck back into an alleyway, and 2 more of the guards walk by. And then you, you get to, you have to sort of take a bit of a winding route, indirect route to get to Vorn's shop. But after a few close calls of ducking behind, stands or, hiding next to some banthas that someone has tracked into from the, from the desert, you finally get to within spitting distance of Vorn's Portstone shop. You sort of, Pash looks back up and down the street, and he's like, all right, I'm going to make the run first, and you come after me. So Pash makes his way over, gets to the sort of the doorway of it, looks back and forth up and down the street, sees nothing there, and looks back at Lowerk. Lowerk is sort of hiding in the alleyway, and it just is not coming. And Pash is like, "Come on!" Lowerk says, "Rrr, rrr." And Pash says, "Come on!" Lowerk says, "Rrr." Pash says, "Get over here, you ape!" And at that moment is when he sees why Lowerk didn't want to come, because there are 2 Gamorreans who are just coming around the corner.
Okay.
So you kind of, and the advantage is that they don't know that Lowerk is there, so Lowerk is hidden, but Pash is sort of, within 6 feet of 2 more of those guards. But what we're going to do is make a, this is a surprise, so I can't remember if it is cool or if it is discipline that we use, but I'm gonna say discipline. No, I'm gonna say cool. So make a cool check for and just roll the bear dice for both of your guys. Okay, and this, you're gonna count how many successes. What it is whoever gets the most successes, they go first in initiative order, and we deal with ties by looking at advantage. And then if that's tied, we just, heroes get to go first. So
Pash gets 2 hits, 3 advantage.
Nice. Okay. So he's going, so 2 hits with 3 advantage. And how does Lowerk do?
Like, I'm not rolling against anything, right?
No, it's just whoever gets the most number of hits, that's that they get to go first.
Okay.
And if there are ties, you look at who has the most advantage.
Okay. So Lorik has 2 hits, 1 advantage.
Awesome. So now what that means is you got 2 PC slots, then an NPC slot. So who would like to go first, Lorik or Pash?
I think Pash will go first.
Okay.
Yep.
So, okay. So what's Pash going to do?
Take out his blaster, start blasting.
Okay. So it's a maneuver to get the blaster out and go ahead. It is short range. And because they haven't acted yet, I'm going to give you a boost. So you get a blue dice for it.
Okay.
So 1 purple is a difficulty, and you get a boost from the blue.
I'm just going to see. Do they have the same blaster pistol?
I believe so. Yeah.
It looks the same.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Okay. So yellow. Sorry, what did you say again?
So a difficulty is 1 purple, but I'm also going to give you a boost because a blue because they're still kind of like stunned.
Okay, I got 2 hits.
Nice. Okay, so 8 points of damage. So you blast one of them square in the chest, and it squeals and falls back down. Then it is Lorik's turn. What's he doing?
He is going to. Can he close the distance from where he is?
Yes, it's short range, so he can go from short to engaged easily.
Okay, he's going to do that and use his vibro axe.
Awesome. I'm going to give him actually. I'll give him a boost, 2 boosts, because 1 for this thing is sort of flat-footed, and also because he's he's able to line up his shot, completely without interference. Difficulty is 2 purple.
Okay. So that's 1 yellow, 4 green, 2 blue, 2 purple, and 2 purple.
No, sorry. 1 yellow, 3 green, and 2 blue, and 2 purple.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I got 4 hits and 1 advantage.
Nice. You skewer this Gamorrean through, and the 1 advantage. This is sort of all happening in the streets of Mos Shuta, right? If you picture the streets of Mos Eisley from New Hope, that's sort of the level of busyness in here. What are you trying to pass off this violence as? Like, are you trying to hide it from people, or are you trying to intimidate people into silence, or what?
So it's pretty busy, you said?
It's probably fairly busy, yeah. And I am, yeah, the sound of blaster fire would probably draw attention. The vibro axe, not so much, and the squealing of the. I'm trying to think if there's anything that. We know I'll let you spend the advantage on is basically that allows you to. You're able to sort of like drop these things down and then slip into Vorn's shop without any other any interference from anyone else.
Okay.
Okay. So you sort of step inside the the thing and turn Lorik turns his vibro axe off. Okay, so stepping inside. Sorry, the junk shop is immediately obvious by the scrapyard adjoining the Los Porstone building. As you step inside, you see a hunched old human male lurking behind a low counter covered with disassembled droid and machine parts. The man glances up at you and then turns to a garbage can-shaped R5 droid standing by his side. He kicks the droid and shrieks, "You're supposed to tell me when I have customers, you stupid bucket of bolts. Go outside and finish stripping that speeder bike wreck." The droid trundles off with a surly woo, and the man turns to you. "Welcome, customers. As you can see," and he points to the racks and shelves and enormous buckets full of scrap metal and parts, "I have anything you'd want for the right price." He hops down from the stool he's sitting on and begins to walk up from behind the counter. What do? This, you Pash can recognize is likely Vorn. Nope, and I think we lost audio again. At least we know the fix for it. Like that's at least.
I don't understand why it just keeps happening though.
It's weird because like if there's a constant stream of stuff coming from you, it doesn't seem to cut out.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's so strange that that's the way it cuts out. But in any event, so what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna say Pash is gonna say, well, hello, sir. We're looking for a very common item. And then I'll tell him what the part is that we're looking for.
The hypermatter reactor igniter.
The hypermatter reactor igniter. I'm sure a man such as yourself would have one of these. Fairly common stock.
Yes. Well, I do have one. You are right that I have one, but it is already promised to Captain Trex of the Crate Fang. Can you both make a, let's see here. I'm going to let both of you make a streetwise check against a difficulty of 2 purple. But I'm going to give, because of Lowwork's history with Trandoshans, I'm going to give him a boost to it. And incidentally, in an actual campaign, these are the kind of things like your backstory and stuff like that are the things that would, you guys would be like, hey, listen, because I'm a whatever, can I get a boost for my roll?
Oh, okay. So I'm rolling for Pash first.
Okay.
He gets 3. And what are you? What is the other one?
Difficulty is 2 purple.
And he gets a boost.
Pash does not. Lowwork does.
No, yeah, okay. Oh, Lowwork does.
Yeah.
He is successful, but there is also a.
Is it a threat?
Yeah, it has like the octagon in the center, and it's like a bigger octagon.
Is that it there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that is that's a threat.
Okay.
So what that means is Pash suffers 1 strain as he's kind of like, oh no, Trex, or Trex really doesn't care for you very much at all. Go ahead and roll for Lowwork and tell me how he does.
So it's also against 2 purple, but Lowwork gets an advantage?
That's right, yeah.
Or a boost or whatever?
Boost, that's right.
Just at 1 advantage.
1 advantage, okay. Okay, so what happens, these are, just so I can show you, this is what a Trandoshan looks like, incidentally. The lizard guys.
Yep.
It's Bosk from Empire Strikes Back. He's Trandoshan. Okay, so you what do you call it? Pash kind of, his shoulders slump when he hears that it's Captain Trex who has asked for it. You know that Trex is a Trandoshan bounty hunter / slaver who stops over in Mos Shuta a few times a year. His ship, the Crate Fang, is a beat-up old YT 1300 light freighter. Same ship as the Millennium Falcon. A fine ship, if you can keep her running, The disadvantage is that Trex really doesn't care for you, but you get the sense from Lowwork kind of when Pash says kind of mutters to him who this is. Lowwork kind of growls at the as soon as he hears he's a Trandoshan slaver, because that's why he is where he is. And Vorn says, no, so says, ugly business, but it's really none of mine, I suppose. You get the sense that Vorn really doesn't care for Trex all that much either. So what that'll translate into is if you're going to try and do something against him, I'll give you a boost to whatever you're going to do.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the ways you can kind of what this is it will be if you want to get your hands on that part, it's going to be a contested roll against some of Vorn's skills. And the way contested rolls work is basically you just convert, you flip the color of the target's skills. So Vorn has a negotiate of 2 greens and 1 yellow. So that means the difficulty of trying to negotiate with him is 2 purple, 1 red.
Right.
Okay. So what you could do is you can try and negotiate with him and try and sell it. You guys do have, I believe it's 800 credits between you. And this part probably is between about maybe 400 to 700 credits. You can try and negotiate. You can try and deceive him. You can try and charm him. You can try and coerce him, which is like intimidating. How are you guys thinking of trying to get a hold of that part?
Maybe we will.
Nope, I think your sound just cut out. So our theory is shattered.
So I think we'll ask him how much he's selling the part for, and if maybe he could sell to us, and then maybe say, if you sell to us, it's going to maybe like, do I feel like he doesn't like Trek or Trex because he's like a slaver?
That may be a big part of it. But you just get sort of from the way he reacted to Lowork's, growl at your description of Trex. You get the sense that he's not really super keen on him. You're not necessarily sure why, but he doesn't seem to be he's a businessman, so he'll sell to him, but he doesn't seem like he'd really want to go out of his way. And from what you've heard about Vorn, he's always happy to take a higher price. Never, until that credits have changed hands, it's never a deal isn't necessarily a done deal.
Right. Well, yeah, I'll just ask him how much the selling price is for this part.
For this, well, this is a very rare part. I mean, this is an important. So it's a common part, but it's key, and I only have the one. I mean, are you suggesting that I break a deal with a customer to sell to another?
No. I just, I mean, if you sell us the part, we could, just tell the other customer that you had promised to that your inventory was off.
And then you realize that Trandoshans tend to express their displeasure at clerical errors with their claws.
Oh no, I'm sure that with such the name that you have made for yourself in these parts, that no one would dare shut the door in their face, burn any bridges with an establishment like this. They'll need your future business.
Why don't you make a charm check against Vorn's discipline? His discipline is 1 purple, 1 red. But I'm going to give you the 1 blue from Lowork's reaction from earlier. And that's good role playing, so I'm going to give you another blue as well. So roll Pash's charm versus 1 purple, 1 red, and the 2 blues.
Okay. Okay. 2 successes and advantage.
Nice. So he kind of, he says, "You're right. That's fine. I'll tell you what. You boys seem like nice boys. and you seem to, he nods up at Lowerk and says, you seem to dislike the same kinds that I dislike. I'll let it go to you for 600 credits. That's a really good deal.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Okay.
And also, we hate androids too. They're the worst.
Androids. Yeah, he says, he kind of laughs and he yells at that thing, which is still making its way outside to go and work on the speeder bike rack. You hear that? You're no good. So, okay. And what he says is, there you are. He says, but don't forget, he says that when you're getting this in there on the YT 1300, you need to make sure that the mixture, what do you call it? Fuel outflow needs to be double sealed in order to avoid any problems with it. You gather roughly what that means, and what it translates into is that you'll get a boost on your on your mechanics check to try and install this thing.
Okay.
Now, what that means is you got the part to make the crate fang move. You know where the crate fang is in Hangar Bay OREC. The only thing you do need to get still is you need to deal with the docking clamp on the ship. The docking clamps are controlled at, or rather are operated out of the spaceport control facility, which is located on the other side of town of where the cantina is. The cantina is here. The junk shop is right here. Spaceport control is right here. And Hangar OREC is right here. Hangar Bay OREC.
Okay.
So why don't you make another streetwise check for me for Pash, please?
Sure.
I'm just going to see, and again, that'll be against a difficulty of, yeah, I'll say 2 purples as well.
Okay. 1 success.
1 success. Okay. So you, what do you call it? You actually happen to know that the overseer who controls or sort of administers the spaceport control facility is a woman named Bryn, Overseer Bryn. Overseer Bryn looks like that. Now, you maybe met her in passing, but she doesn't have an impression of you one way or the other. She doesn't dislike Pash. She doesn't love Pash. So you know that she's there, and you do know that she's a bit of a no-nonsense type. So with 1 success, you'll also know that the facility is guarded by 2, so it should be in total 4 spaceport security droids, which look a little like that. Rusted old guys. There will be 2 on the outside that will be controlling admittance into the spaceport control facility. And then in there, you need to either convince someone or slice the computer to gain access to a computer and then deactivate the docking clamps in order to let the crate fang leave. So what is your plan for A, getting over there, and B, convincing either convincing Bryn or just storming your way in there, or what? Nope, we got no volume again. Sorry.
Can I see the map again?
Yeah, sure. So this is Mashuta.
If we,
You're at 14 right now.
yeah, if we maybe head down to 8, and then around 20. Well, I guess everything's 28. I don't know what's up with that.
Which 20? Oh yeah, Jesus, what the fuck? Hold on, what is that? What is the deal with that? Oh, you know what? Because what page it's described on? Sorry, because all the rest of those things are described on page 28 of the book. That's what they've done instead.
Okay. So maybe if we head down to 8 and then we kind of just take the outskirts of the city, we might run into less thugs.
Sure, yeah.
And then to the bay or to the docks that way.
Okay. To the spaceport control is where you need to go first. You'll need
to release the ship.
Yeah, like in order to get the docking clamps off, you would need to that's controlled at the spaceport control facility.
Oh, there's no like override or anything there. Or?
There's an override, but it's at the spaceport control facility.
Okay.
That's how they prevent people from just taking off, once they've landed without paying the appropriate, taxes.
Oh, okay. So can I see the map again there?
Sure.
For a sec. And where was that again? That's 17.
Yes, it is at the top of the map at 17.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just head straight there. Try to take as many back alleys and stuff as we can.
Okay. Why don't you make another stealth check for me, please, against yeah, that wasn't a combat encounter. Make another stealth check for me for Pash, and I will. It'll be against a difficulty of 2 purple, and I will give you a boost because I'm going to say you learned your lesson from that last kind of fuck up to, listen to or rely on Lowork's eyes as well.
I got 2 successes and an advantage.
Nice. Okay. So the advantage, I'll allow you to give a boost to Lowork's roll, and go ahead and make a roll for Lowork for me, please.
So 1 blue or 2 blue?
1 blue for Lowork.
Okay. 1 triangle, 2 advantage.
So 1 failure.
Right.
1 failure and 2 advantage. Okay. So you guys are winding through those back alleys, and let's see here, 2 advantage would give you. What I will allow you to do is gain. You can either gain a free maneuver for Lowork. The 2 guards that you're going to come across will not be aware that Pash is there, and Lowork can either gain a bonus, like a boost to his next roll, or he can take a free maneuver immediately. What happens is basically it's the same type of thing where you guys suddenly, like they're stepping out of a building that they were searching, and they sort of they see the Wookiee, but you sort of saw them, the big thick green feet stepping out. You just unfortunately had nowhere to sort of to go. They step out and they see you. They do not see Pash. This is in sort of a maybe like a alleyway that has some big old, like worn canisters and shipping containers in them. Excuse me, and it's relatively close to the spaceport now.
Okay. Can I ready my weapon then?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's out.
Oh, so that's not my maneuver then? I can do a different one?
Yeah, incidental one to just, get it going.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Like, do you think Lowork would be, I guess it would be really conspicuous if he's going around with this, thing out all the time.
Right, and if he's sneaking, he might not want it in his hands and stuff.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, his maneuver will be, so he can do a free maneuver to get that thing ready and then roll initiative?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a surprise, so go ahead and make a cool check for me. They got nothing, so as long as you guys get successes, the PCs go before the Gamorreans.
Do I do cool checks for both of them?
Yes, please.
Okay. 2. So Pash's is. Oh wait, that's. I'm not going against anything, right?
No, just a raw check.
Right. 3 successes to advantage.
Awesome.
And 1 success.
And one's okay. So both of you guys go before the Gamorreans. The Gamorreans are not aware that Pash is there. What would you like to do? Both of you go before. You can decide what order they go in.
Right. Well, because he has been noticed, Lorik will go first.
Awesome. Okay. So Lorik has his vibro axe ready. What would you like to do?
He will attack one of the guards with it.
Okay. Now, give me a sec here. I want to double check something because I believe you can still use a maneuver to basically aim your melee attack as well. I just want to confirm that. Oh, where are we here? Yep, you can do it in melee as well. So if you want to use his regular maneuver to aim, you're free to do that. Or if there's something else you'd like to do.
No, I'll aim.
Nice. Okay, so go ahead and make your attack roll.
So it's against 2 purple?
It is against 2 purple, yeah. And you'll have, I'm going to give you a boost because you're acting before them. They're flat-footed. So you get basically 2 blues plus whatever your skill is. Or your skill in baseball.
4 successes.
Wow! Yeah, so with his insane damage, that's 1 Gamorrean down. What does it look like?
Basically because he's sneaking, and I'm gonna say they're sneaking like this, and then the guards are just kind of walking there.
Yeah.
But, they think they're really sneaky, so he's just like, okay. Make sound, and then he sees them, and they kind of turn to face each other. But because Lorik is so surprised, he just basically ignites his axe and just chops it down with great surprise. Kind of like seeing a spider on the wall. You hit it with way too much force necessary because of the adrenaline rush.
So there's a Gamorrean head that kind of lands back in the building wherever they came from. There's a scream from inside. Ah! Did you get any advantage on it or threat?
No.
No? Okay. So then it is Pash's turn. What's he doing?
He basically is unholstering his gun and shooting at the remaining Gamorrean.
Okay. So he gets a boost because of his flat-footed, but otherwise just normal attack. Against the difficulty would be 1 purple because it's short range.
Oh, okay. And 1 advantage?
You got one boost.
Yeah, 1 boost. Yeah. Oh, 4 hits again.
Wow. Okay, another God. This the gun that you got or the blaster pistol you got from Lorik, clearly way better than the one you were using.
Just like in The Force Awakens.
Yeah, exactly. I like this gun. So you blast the what do you call it? Blast the remaining Gamorrean as well. Both of them drop down. And Lorik kind of growls with it. I guess we're even, Yeah. But then you guys make it to the spaceport control facility. So what is sort of the plan? Again, there's 2 security droids standing outside. You know that there's 2 inside, as well as Overseer Bryn and her sort of staff that handle or administer the spaceport control. What's sort of your plan for excuse me, getting in here?
I don't. Is there? Is there anything like mechanics? Can you like make your own things out of stuff?
You can, yeah. Like, what were you thinking of?
Yeah. I guess this would have been a better idea at the junkyard. But is there EMPs in this game?
There is something similar. It's an ion, like an ion grenades, ion weapons. What they do is they disrupt electronics. You don't have time, and I don't know if you guys both have mechanics of green, so you're not. Yeah, you're able to get by, but you're not master, mechanics by any means. What were you thinking?
Who would normally be entering this building?
Be people who are trying to either like pay docking fees or to get, because once the docking fees are paid, they can release the docking clamps and you're free to leave. Maybe administrators like service people, like the typical sort of pilots. You've been in here. This is maybe how Pash has met Overseer Bryn before. Just that she, you briefly sort of, one of the times you brought the Aovar in, you came in, paid the fee for it, and kind of, went on your way. For whatever reason, she just never really, you never really struck up a relationship with her. I think I lost your audio again. No, we're back.
So, okay. I get like you can't just go there and say like, "Oh, this is my ship," because obviously
you could try that. I mean, that would be a deceit, contested roll against her discipline.
Okay.
Probably if you're trying to kind of trick her into, paying it. So how would you sort of approach that?
Maybe I would say that this guy has been hired by what's his name? Timo Hut? Timo Hut. Has been hired by Timo Hut, but they want me to pilot the ship for what do you call it? Merchant sort of thing.
Okay. So you're, what do you call it?
Because which I imagine would be pretty common for something that I would do, right?
Yeah. And I mean, you've got, because I imagine that you've brought in the last 8 weeks, you've been bringing the Aovar in and out fairly often. So she would know what ships are coming in and out, and she would probably know that the last time you landed, it ended up having to be scrapped and hauled out of whatever hangar bay it was left in.
Right.
Knows you've got no ship there, so that's a plausible thing. I'll give you a boost for your roll for that, and then I'm because Trex is also sort of known in there as well. I'm going to give a black die as well, drawback.
Okay, and then also in conversation, I don't know if you want to role play this or how you want to do it, but I'll also mention the part that I have. Which there is only one of in the city. So it's basically like the key to the ship. It's like whoever has this kind of needs it. So
awesome. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll give you a boost for that as well too. That's a terrific idea.
For me to kind of like install it and stuff, and then
great. So you sort of walk in, and the droids are waiting there, and you say what they go. Oh, I'm going to talk to Overseer Bryn, and they both sort of motion. Go ahead. You'll walk in, Bryn sort of, okay, so as you walk in, you step through the doorway into a large chamber crowded with computer equipment and centered around a large holo display showing a plot of local aerospace. Standing in front of the display with her arms folded behind her back is a human woman. She appears to be in charge And as you watch, she speaks into a headset in a formal, commanding tone. Imperial Shuttle Lambda 11238, this is Overseer Bryn with Spaceport Control. You are cleared for landing. Welcome to Mos Shuta. A half-dozen technicians of different species work at consoles, and 2 security droids stand near the doorway. Your attention is pulled to the floor-to-ceiling transparent steel windows at the far wall that look out over the desert of Tatooine, where an Imperial shuttle is coming in for a landing. As that sort of the silver, triangle-shaped shuttle comes in for a landing, Bryn turns and says, "Captain Posh, what can I do for you?"
So what was her first name again?
Bryn.
Bryn. Say, Bryn. It's great to see you. Looking gorgeous as always.
Yes. You're sold one is forearmed against your weapons. One can be armored against them. What can I do for you, Pash?
I was just needing to take, and then I'll just say the ship's name because I can't.
Crate Fang.
Yeah, Crit Bang.
Crate, incidentally, is essentially a Tatooine dragon. It is an enormous, scary-looking fucking lizard that eats things in the desert.
Okay. I'll be taking the Crate Bang on a merchant. I don't know what you would call it.
On a run for Timo, maybe.
Yeah, on a run for Timo Hut. Yeah.
Her eyes kind of, that's Captain Trex's ship.
Yes, it is. And as we know, Timo as well.
She knows Timo runs this place.
Yeah.
She says, go ahead and make your roll. Let's see how you do. So
and then I'll tell her as well, I'm also installing this part beforehand. It's something that Captain Trex needed.
Okay. So go ahead and make, so I'll give you the 2 boosts that I mentioned. There's going to be the drawback because he's a known guy. So it'll be your deception plus a 2 boost, 1 drawback. So 2 blue, 1 black. And her discipline is 1 purple, 1 red.
So is it deceit?
Deceit, yes.
Okay. Oh, wait.
What's better, your charm or your deceit are the same thing, actually. So, okay, I think I lost your audio again. Sorry.
My charm and deceit are the same.
Yeah. Okay. So you can say it's whatever one. It's a little bit from both, I imagine. So,
okay.
Go ahead and make your rolls to see how you do.
Sorry. So that's, you were going to give me 1 boost, and I'm going up against
2 boosts. So 2 boost, 1 drawback. So it's 2 blues, 1 black.
Okay.
The first boost is because that was good role playing. The other one is it's a good idea using the hypermatter reactor injector to suggest that, like, look, this is why I can access it. But the drawback is it's a well-known, it's known that he's got it.
Right.
And the difficulty is because of her discipline, which is 1 purple, 1 red.
Okay. 2 successes, but 1
threat.
Threat. Yeah, the octagons.
Yes. Okay. So that's a threat.
Okay,
as long as it's not a despair symbol, that would be bad. So just so you know, the way the system works is that because it's so narrative, like a lot of it is interpreting the dice result to see what happens in the story. In this case, if there was a despair result, I give you the success, and then you turn around and see Captain Trex walking in.
Okay.
Okay. So, but that doesn't happen.
That's good.
Yeah. So you, what do you call it? She kind of says, "Oh, okay. Well, then are you here to pay the docking fee then?"
Well, generally that's something that is worked out beforehand with Timo. But what is it? Maybe he can just reimburse me.
This is for Timo. We'll put it on the account as usual then.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So she motions to a Celestin who is working the thing, and she says, "Bindo, would you remove the docking clamps off the crate fang?" He kind of and hits something, and you can see there's sort of a stylized version of the crate fang, the kind of slightly modified circle. There is red around it, which then goes green, and the docking clamps are off the crate fang. She says, "All right, well, happy trails to you."
And I'll say, a pleasure as always. One day I'll take you on one of these missions, and maybe we'll never come back.
She kind of shakes her head. She says, "You'll forgive me if I don't pack immediately." Have a good day, Capsule Pash. Okay, so with that, what I'm going to give you is two things. For one, you gain XP. So I'm going to give you 15 XP. So if you turn to your the PDFs of your characters, on pages 4 and 5, it has or page 4 tells you what you can spend that XP on for each of your guys. So who do you have up right now?
How much? I have Pash.
Pash, okay.
How much XP is a thing? Or like how much do I get?
You have 15 right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then each of them, it tells you what everything costs.
Right.
So like, to upgrade your deceit skill costs you 10.
Yeah.
To upgrade the skullduggery costs 5. Quick draw, to gain a quick draw talent costs 5. Or to gain the skilled jockey talent. Just to give you context for what each of these the talents mean. Quick draw lets you as an incidental action instead of as a maneuver, so you can get a gun out right away. What skilled jockey does is when you make a piloting check, you get to ignore 1 black die, and where black die comes from, all starships have a handling score. Handling can be positive or negative. If it's positive, it gives you boost dice. If it's negative, it gives you drawback dice. So essentially what this does is it allows you to, shitty handling starships, you can get more control out of them.
Oh, okay.
That's what skilled jockey does. What would you like to spend your points on?
How about I just get everything except deceit?
That works for me. Okay. So you got skullduggery now, you got your quick draw talent, and your skilled jockey. Now for Lowork, incidentally, you guys also have 0 strain right now because you had that other encounter with the Gamorreans. Pash was carrying 1 strain from that last thing when he heard it was Trex who had the ship. Okay, so the talents for Lowork are actually pretty straightforward. The toughened one boosts his wound threshold up by 1.
Okay.
His wounds threshold becomes at 19. And then feral strength allows you to add 1 to the damage of any melee or brawl weapons. So the damage of your vibro axe would go up by 1. Damage of your fists would go up by 1.
How about I go melee skill? How about I go melee skill and strength?
Awesome. And feral strength, cool. Okay. So that means you're even better at, tearing the arms off of droids. Okay. The other thing we got to do is if you could, okay, so just like in Iron Kingdoms or like with their feat points or D&D with the action points or, you know, any of those or hero points in DC Adventures, there is something called destiny points in this game. What we do would normally do is at the start of each session, there's one kind of dice we haven't spoken about yet, and that is the force die.
Ooh.
The force die is only really used at the beginning of sessions, and if you're playing a character who has an ability in the force. What I'd like you to do is you're going to roll 2 force die, just the 2 force die, and tell me what the result is, please.
I have 2 negative space circles and 1 completely filled circle.
Okay, is it filled with white or is it filled with black?
It's filled. So 2 circles are filled with white, and the last circle is filled with black.
Awesome. Okay, so there's 1 black and 2 white.
Yes.
Okay, so what that means is there are what you have in this game is what's called the destiny pool. The destiny pool is filled of either light side points or dark side points. What you would do is, you know, we take all the dice, we roll them for 1 for each player character in the session, and the result tells us how many how many destiny points there are. Each light side point can be used by the players to increase your skill, like for 1 roll. There are other uses for it, but we're not going to deal with those for the purposes tonight. So remember I was talking before about advancing or like boosting a skill, not boosting, like advancing a skill, where you bump up the, So that's what you get to do. You get to turn 1 green into a yellow or add another green if you're already all yellows. And then what happens is when you spend a light side point, it flips over and becomes a dark side point. And what I can do is I can spend dark side points to increase the difficulty of things. And when I do that, it flips over to become a light side point.
Oh, okay.
So it's sort of a mechanic that constantly kind of ideally keeps moving throughout the session.
Right.
You can only spend 1 light side point or 1 dark side point per session, or not per session, per skill roll. And then you also certain character abilities in the full game, they require the expenditure of destiny points. Yeah, that's sort of the way to affect the game.
Okay.
Okay. You can also spend destiny points, just like in DC Adventures, to make small minor edits to the scene.
Okay. Yeah.
Beneficial things like, oh no, like you can't be like, oh, I've got the keys to that starship. But what you could do is like, you know, like, no, you know what? I'm pretty sure I packed my my grappler on me. Let me just, oh yeah, no, I have that here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your characters are advanced. You've got a pool. There's 2 light side points and 1 dark side point right now. So you guys now just have to make your way to Hangar Bay Orac, get in the Crate Fang, and you are out of Mos Shuta and out of Teimo's immediate grip. So you guys make your way into the, what's the plan to get from the spaceport control to Hangar Bay Orac? It's pretty much
the map once again.
Sure.
I think just the outskirts, but the other way around than what I was thinking previously.
Okay.
Yeah. So from 17, kind of outskirts. What are the things between 17 and 24 there?
Let's see, 17 and 24. There's a water tower, and those would be, I think, homes.
Okay.
Yeah, residences.
Okay, so we'll kind of just go around there.
Okay. So you guys start making your way through there and or around that area. But unfortunately, almost immediately after you step out into the streets, the thronging crowd that is around you. There's moisture farmers who are in from outside of town. There are smugglers and bounty hunters that are coming to meet with Teimo or just to hang around him. There are junk dealers, and there are Jawas, and there are droids making their way around. All this disparate crowd kind of suddenly parts, and you see a chilling sight. 3 soldiers in white armor of the Empire's elite, stormtroopers. As you see them, you realize that the lead trooper is pointing right at you. You hear his voice break through the crowd, sounding mechanical through his armor's speakers. "There they are," the stormtrooper says. "Get them." As you turn to escape, you notice a second group of 3 stormtroopers approaching down a side street. This could get tricky. So, now, just like in other, like fourth edition D&D, and I don't know if we played 13th Age together, but in 13th Age, there are minion rules in this. And essentially, for groups of minor characters like this, they all sort of act as one group, and they're also targeted as one group. The way that, you remember I said how you calculate your dice pool for player characters, where you take, the higher number is how many dice, and the lower number tells you how many of those are yellow? Well, for minions, they have, their number is determined by how many of them there are. So the dice pools is the number of dice they're rolling is based on their skill, or like their ability, but the number of those that are yellow determines or is determined by how many of them there are. The more that you down, the less of a threat they become. So groups of minions are scary and potentially dangerous at first, but the more of them you mow through, the less threatening they become. That make sense?
Kind of like kobolds.
Kind of like kobolds, exactly. So, or kind of like stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is 2 groups of 3. What I'd like you to do is make another cool check for me, please. And I will roll for the stormtroopers, and we'll see who goes first.
This is confusing, right? I don't know why they're after me, right?
You don't know, no. But you know what? Why don't you make a streetwise check for Pash, and it's going to be easy. It'll be one purple, so one difficulty.
Okay. 3 hits.
3 successes. Nice. Okay. Well, you remember that Imperial officer named Hyrkin, who kind of sold you into slavery to Teemo?
Yep.
Well, you gathered over the last 8 weeks of doing things that's not the only dealing that Hyrkin, or sort of arrangement that Hyrkin has with Teemo. So knowing that you're the one escaping, Hyrkin may have been in orbit, or may have then that shuttle that was coming down may have been Imperial troops that were being lent to Teemo to try and find you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's definitely you, not Lowerk, that they were pointing at.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and roll. Actually, I need to run to the washroom quickly, but I'll roll their cool. Let's see here. I got 1 success. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, how'd you guys do?
What was I rolling?
You're rolling your cool.
Oh, right.
If you know that combat's happening, you roll discipline. If you don't know what's going to happen, it's cool.
Okay.
And sometimes it's other things like the check to try and hide in the opening thing. That's what same thing. Like you roll for your successes, and then the amount of successes tells you what order you act in.
One hit, one advantage for Pash.
Okay.
And
Stormtroopers.
what's that?
He beats the stormtroopers.
And 2 hits and 1 advantage for
Lork.
yeah, Lork.
Okay, cool. So that means PCs have 2 slots and then NPCs. So who would like to go first? Both of the stormtroopers are essentially at. I'm going to say one of them is at medium range, one of them is at short range.
Okay. Can we? Is there a way to run?
There is not. Okay. There's not really a way to get away from them. What running away would be is if you're just trying to get away from these guys. What it would be is sort of like a foot chase. So it'd kind of be like contested athletics against them. But every maneuver, so each maneuver only allows you to move one. Like it's one maneuver to go from short to medium, and then it's 2 maneuvers to go from short, medium to long, and then 2 more to go from long to extreme, and then another one to get out of it, like completely gone.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what that means is that's a lot of time for stormtroopers to be shooting at you.
I was just wondering if there was like a place we could kind of duck in
to get cover from them, or just to get away from them.
To kind of get away from them, so that my kind of plan is to get them into a little bit narrower space, so we can like take 3 of them or however many come in out, and then I could dress up as a stormtrooper, or sorry, Pash could.
Okay.
And then we could kind of get away that way.
Okay. Okay. So what I'll say is that if you both spend like an extra maneuver, so if you both incur 2 strain, I'll let you sort of. I'm assuming you don't want to go back into where you came from. You don't want to go back into the space.
Right.
So maybe there's a residence that's sort of near there. You could run down like basically race over there and then dive into the residence.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Okay.
what I was kind of thinking.
Okay, so you can both kind of smash into that thing, and that's when the blaster bolts start hitting the side of that poor stone building, and there's chips and stuff that are blasting away, but it's not actually penetrating yet, apart from the ones that are coming in through the windows.
Right.
So you get in here, and there is a family of humans in here who kind of like are. They're at let's see, would it be around, maybe they're working on some kind of they're all working on some kind of quilt together, and they're like, whoa, shocked at what's happening. There's things exploding in their kitchen. What are you guys doing?
We'll say get into your bedroom.
You're gonna take them into their bedroom?
No, we'll just tell them to get into their bedroom.
Okay. The mother and the 2 children kind of say, go, and they go racing in there. So there's this sort of side entrance is the sort of main entrance, and there's actually a little workshop at the front of this home. So they've kind of got like their workspace and their and their living stuff all in sort of one area, and the kitchen is the thing that's between the 2. That's where you guys have come in.
Okay.
Okay, so you can hear outside the over the sound of blaster fire. You can hear saying, "Flank him! Go around the side."
Okay, so we'll like kind of be ready for anyone to come in, or like kind of right around the door area.
Okay.
Yeah, blaster ready, Vibrex ready.
Okay. So is someone watching the 2 ways there from the kitchen into the work area is one sort of entrance here, and then there's the door that you guys came in on the side. Who's watching which?
Posh will look at the one that has the what did you say, the work entrance?
Yep.
And I think okay. Lorik will watch the door that we came in.
Okay. Okay. So the what do you call it? They're sort of the stormtroopers are clearly, you know, organizing their entrance or coordinating rather their entrance between each other. You can hear sort of some muffled conversation outside of each door, and both of you have your weapons ready. From where Pash is, I'm picturing he's sort of against the wall, looking through the doorway into the workspace at front, where he can see, you know, can kind of hear a trio of stormtroopers getting ready to burst through the door. So it isn't a surprise when simultaneously the door to the front thing is, kicked open, and some white armored figures come racing in with big heavy blasters or big blasters, and the same thing through the door. Fortunately, it does find both of your guys ready to respond, so I'll let you make attacks against both. Now, what it'll essentially be is the maneuver will be to be preparing, so you're only going to get an action this turn, but you will be able to take your action. So what would you like to do?
Pash will shoot, and Lorik will come down with his axe.
Who's going to attack? Who's going to act first?
Pash will shoot first.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. It is short range, so it's a 1 purple. Otherwise, there's no modifiers. Let's see here. Nope, no other modifiers.
One hit, one advantage, or one advantage.
And 1 advantage. Okay, nice. So what you could do is, you can use it to get rid of strain, but you don't have any strain right now, I don't think. You could add if you can tell me how it would sort of work, you could add a blue to the next allied active character's check. So to Lorik's next check. Or you could notice a single important point in the ongoing conflict, like a location of a blast door's control panel or a weak point on the attack speeder. So you know, actually, what I'll say is, if you don't mind me suggesting again, what you see is you blast the first one as he comes through the door, and then you notice what is actually in the workshop. And essentially what this guy is working on is chargers. He essentially works on power packs and sort of refurbishes and uses some kind of primitive process to recharge these things. So essentially there's a bunch of explosives that are around the front here.
Okay.
How much damage did you do?
1 hit, 1 advantage.
Okay, so the success, you do success plus your the damage of the weapon, so it's 7 points of damage. Not down. Oh, sorry, what was that, Nick?
I didn't say anything.
Okay, you blast with the pistol, and it hits the first stormtrooper. It scours his armor, and he's not down, but he is staggers back. Lorik's turn. What's he doing? Braining some stormtroopers. Oh, I think I lost your audio again.
Down with his axe.
Nice. So it'll be melee, so it's a 2 purple.
Okay.
And then remember to use his upgraded melee skill. So it's 2 yellow, 2 green.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm. And his damage will be +1 more. So the damage of the vibro axe will actually be 8 plus your successes.
2 successes.
2 successes, so it's 10. Okay, so he brings the oh wow, and it's the vibro axe is piercing. I don't know if you can see that on the sheet. What that means is it's the target's soak is reduced by 2, so it's 2 less effective against it. So what that means is he effectively, so soak is 5. uh, 3, and you did 10 points of damage. That means you cut down the first stormtrooper as he walks through, and then on the back swing you catch a second one and injure it as well too.
Oh wow! Okay.
Okay. Now it is the stormtrooper's turn. So the group that is with Lowerk, I'm going to go with them first because one of them is down. That means they are less effective. So let's see here. They all are, bring their blast, or the two of them bring their blasters up and try and get at Lowerk. But because it's such a big weapon, the difficulty is actually going to be boosted by 2. So it becomes 1 purple and 1 red. Or sorry, 1 purple, 1 purple, 1 red. And let's see here. 1, 2 misses. 2. Okay, they're blasting away with their heavy blasters. It completely misses Lowerk. Like he's just battering their things aside. But what they do, what they have done is sort of effectively blocked off your exit from that room. You're not going to be able to get out through that door anytime soon. The group that is facing Pash, now what Pash could have done if he'd had a maneuver available is he could have taken cover. And what that would have done is add a black to their attack roll.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But because there are still 3 of them left there, they're a little more effective. And it's a short range. So let's roll for them. No, fucking terrible roll. Okay, so I got no successes. They likewise are blasting away with their heavy blasters. It's like the door frame around Pash is exploding in sparks and heat and chunks of pour stone, but Pash is somehow remaining completely unscathed throughout this.
Nice.
So it is top of the round. It is Pash's turn. What's he doing?
Can he grab one of those chargers from the bench?
Yep.
Ideally, what he's trying to do is to grab one of those chargers and throw it out where they are and shoot it.
You know what? I actually am going to say that even better. You can see they're stacked all around these guys.
Oh, they are. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'll shoot one of them or at them, right around them.
Okay. So what is your what's your maneuver then? Do you want to? Are you trying to aim so you can kind of make that shot count, or do you want to? Yep. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. So you get the boost from the that. I'm also going to say that boost from the aim. It's going to be what you need is 2 advantage in order to trigger it. If you get 2 advantage, then you're going to trigger the the explosion.
Okay.
And that's actually fairly common to activate most special features in your weapon. Like if your weapon has other things, that's what you need is 2 advantage to do it.
Okay. So I'm rolling. Okay, so I'm not rolling against anything then.
You are. It's the normal short range difficulty. It's just your result. Yeah. Now, what I'm going to suggest is that you maybe you've got 2 light side points. You might want to use one of those to upgrade your roll so that you are rolling 2 yellow and 1 green, because the yellows are better dice. You're more likely to get advantages and stuff.
I will do that. I'll take that advice.
Okay. So there's now 2 dark side, 1 light side.
Oh, so many things. So many things. 3 hits, 2 advantage.
Nice.
And 1 lightsaber.
Oh, and 1 triumph.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not even gonna have to worry about. Basically what happens is you blast it and you turn back in time, or you turn back long enough to yell to Lowerk, hit the deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lowerk kind of looks and ducks down. The explosion not only annihilates the stormtroopers that are out there, it smashes the other 2 against the remaining 2 stormtroopers against the wall, so they are dazed, which means that they're going to suffer a black die on everything they do for the rest of this encounter.
Nice.
So As the dust is settling, it is Lower's turn. He's currently prone, so he needs to spend a maneuver to get up again.
Okay.
Okay. And what is he doing? These two other stormtroopers are kind of, stumbling around in the dust in this confined room. Oh, I may have lost it again. No, here we come.
He's going to take out the guy who he nicked on the last turn.
Sweet. Go ahead and make an attack. Okay, here's something. The reason that you did the extra damage, minions share one wound threshold.
Oh, okay.
If you do something where it hits, like you're able to damage several of them, you're able to cut down one or two. Like if you had done a little more damage, you could have taken down 2 stormtroopers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was at 1 yellow, 3 green. So now he's at 2 yellow, 1 green.
That's right.
Okay.
No. 2 yellow, 2 green.
2 green. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, the reason his dice is that way because it's his brawl is a 4 and his melee is now a 2. So you take the higher, you got 4 dice and smaller number, 2 of them are yellows.
Okay. And then he's up against.
Melee is always 2 purple.
2 purple and 1 black.
2 purple and no.
Or that's just the other guys.
Yeah, they've got 1 black against all their things because they're dazed.
Okay, so but not this guy.
Not Lower. No, he was able to hit the dirt.
No, I just mean like the stormtroopers. They're gonna have 2 purple, 1 black, or no?
No. The stormtroopers, whatever action they take, they're gonna get a black die.
Oh, right. That makes Okay. Oh, a bunch of stuff again. 4 hits.
Oof.
One advantage, 1 triumph.
Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, it's and you cut these guys down. They're actually not even able to get a transmission off. You've completely annihilated these stormtroopers.
Nice.
So there is, however, and so because you did so well, one of them, the only real damage to the stormtrooper armor is a little bit of damage to the body sleeve and some staining. So if you intend on following through with your plan to sort of disguise yourself, you can do that. Now,
I will do that.
Okay, so what is your plan for you're going to disguise Pash and then escort Lowerk through town?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'll now have, I guess, a heavy blaster in my hand.
Yes. So the heavy, yeah.
It's the uniform.
You've also got a vibro knife as well, if you want. Your soak is now hold on. Because the stormtrooper armor is actually much stronger than your clothing.
Right.
So your soak is your brawl plus your armor.
Also, do they have handcuffs or something?
Yep. Yeah, restraints.
Right, that I could possibly put it on the Wookiee's hands, like loosely.
Yeah. Well, I think that loosely, absolutely. I don't think that they. I think New Hope told us that they don't fit on Wookiees.
Yeah.
Or at least not willingly. 1 second.
Is this the First Order?
No, this is set during the time of the rebellion.
Okay.
Well. So +2, so your soak is now a 5 instead of a 4.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So you get yourself all dressed up. You get Lowerk in some loosely fitting restraints, and you start escorting him across town. This actually works out brilliantly. You have, there's maybe one, sort of thing where you're passing a squad of 3 other stormtroopers, and you sort of nod in your helmet to them, and they nod back at you and keep on going.
Perfect.
Okay, so you get to let's see here. A large pour stone hangar looms before you. An enormous letter OREC stenciled into the building's side. As you approach, you can see through the open hangar doors into the cavernous interior where a rusty-looking light freighter rests with its loading ramp deployed. All you have to do all you have to do is get to that ship and you can leave Tatooine. 2 equally rusty security droids stand outside the entrance. If you want that ship first, you'll have to get by them.
The droids.
Yes.
Okay.
And these are the same model as at Spaceport Control. So you recognize these are not, oh, there you go, those droids there.
Okay.
They are not droids of Teemo or droids of Captain Trex. They are droids, droids under the control of Spaceport Control.
Okay. So maybe we'll go beside the building instead of in the building.
Okay.
I'll kind of take off my gear. We'll kind of take our disguises off. No handcuffs or anything like that. Keep the blaster. And we'll walk in there. Like
Okay.
I don't see any stormtroopers here, do I?
No stormtroopers here.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'll walk in and go into the ship, or
Okay.
try to.
Okay. So you walk up to the what do you call it? The droids, and they say, "What's your business here?" Oop, and your business is losing audio.
I'll say cargo run. I'm Timo Hut has told me to take Captain, what's his name?
Trex.
Trex's ship, the Creek Bang.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's
Okay. Okay, so they've got they have a discipline of 2 purple and 1. Oh no, sorry, that's not right. They have a discipline of, I believe, 2 purple. No, they have a discipline of 1 red. So
Okay.
what I'll get you to do is I'll give you 2 boost for that, because you got you had authority from Bryn if they check on it, and you've got the hypermatter reactor with you, a reactor injector with you. So make a deceit check with 2 boost against 1 red.
Okay. Deceit, yellow, 2 green. And you said I'd get 2 advantage?
Yes.
Or 2 boost?
Yeah, 2 boost.
It's 1 red. Okay. Oh wow. 6 hits and 1 advantage.
Wow. Okay, so they happily say, "Oh, of course." Were you taking Captain Trex with you, because he's on board?
Okay.
So, so the helpful droids have.
I think Lorik is gonna kind of like do his Wookiee call thing in agreement. Like, yeah, we'll take care of him.
Okay.
And like we'll be like, yes, we're meeting him there.
Okay. So what are you gonna do now then?
We're going to ready our weapons.
Okay. So you get your weapons. Okay. So the heavy blaster that you picked up, just to let you know, it uses the ranged heavy skill, and it has the blaster rifle has a range of long and damage of 9. So basically, it does more damage than your blaster pistol. Has a longer range, but you would have 3 green instead of 1 yellow and 2 green.
Oh, so it's not as good?
Well, it's just that you're not as Pash is not as trained with.
Proficient with it. Okay.
Exactly. Like he's still quite. I mean, you're not a chump. You're rolling 3 greens with it, but
Okay.
you're better with a blaster pistol.
So I'll have it over my shoulder then.
Okay, so you throw it over your shoulder, get your lower blaster pistol.
How about the knife? What does that do?
The vibro knife is a melee thing that has a damage of. Actually, hold up. I got it on here. The vibro knife does damage of 1 plus your brawn. Oof, it's got piercing 2 and has a crit on 2. So you only need 2 advantage to get a critical hit with it. Does less damage, more likely to get a critical hit, and it's got an ability called Vicious, which means the critical hits are more likely to be bad.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's not a bad little weapon.
So my brawn is 3.
Yeah. So
what would it do?
So the vibro knife would use melee skill, which for Pash is 3 green. Excuse me. It would do 4 points of damage. It would have a crit of 2, which means 2 advantage to trigger a critical hit. It has piercing 2, which means it ignores 2 the soak, and it does vicious, so it would add plus 10 to your roll for critical hits.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's like good way to go, maybe, or?
Well, you can compare to your blaster pistol does more, and you're more skilled with your blaster pistol. It's better than punching someone. I can tell you that.
Yeah, but I was just like trying to be like sneaky because if we like start shooting in the ship, it might kind of alert people.
Yeah, you could definitely try that. I mean, you're going to take off as soon as you deal with him anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
So
so I'll just have my pistol out then.
Okay. Okay. So the layout for the Crate Fang is we don't need to be beholden to this, but let me see if I can pull this up in a semi-intelligible way.
Okay. Yeah.
Crate Fang.
Okay.
Let's see here. Boarding ramp is right here.
Okay.
Get up into the ship here, which is the main sort of common area. This is engineering back here. Crew quarters, main cargo hold, freight loading chamber, cargo hold number 2, and the cockpit's over here.
Okay.
So you sort of get up into here, and then you go over. This is where the laser turrets are. That's the little board where Wookiees like to play with droids. And I think I might have lost your audio again. Okay, so you guys walk on, and Frex, what you'll hear. Actually, why don't you both make perception checks for me, please? Perception's a skill.
Okay. Pash rolls 3 hits to advantage.
Nice. Okay, so that's actually good enough. Pash, as you guys walk up, you're sort of both, warily looking around. You get up the docking ramp into that main area, and you look down the corridor that leads to the cockpit, and you can hear down there something in a animalistic or reptilian language is cursing at someone. I'm gonna say, Pash speaks Dosh, or no, you know what? Lower speaks Dosh. Dosh is the Trandoshan language,
Right?
And it's basically it is the and it's essentially the effect of like fucking ship. Why don't you fucking work, you fucking piece of shit?
Okay, so he's talking to a ship.
He's cursing out his ship in the cockpit. What are you gonna do?
We're going to sneak up to that area.
Okay. So why don't you both make stealth checks for me? His The difficulty will be his perception, which is 1 green and 2 yellow. So it's 1 purple, 2 red.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but I will give you each a boost because he's pretty occupied with his thing. He's really okay. Just like there's minions, there are 3 sort of broad categories of adversaries in this: minions, rivals, which are sort of they take damage the same way you guys do. Like minions, the other thing about minions don't suffer strain. So if you use something that causes strain, they just take damage for it. Or if they fuck up a roll and they suffer threat, they take damage for that instead of strain.
Okay.
Rivals take damage the same way you do, but they're not quite as powerful. Nemesis are the star villains of the piece. They're as good, if not better, than any one of the PCs.
Right.
Captain Trex, the Trandoshan slaver, is a nemesis.
Okay.
So that's why he's so good at it.
Right.
So go ahead and make your stealth checks.
Okay. So I get my stealth plus 1 boost.
1 boost, that's right.
And he gets 2 reds plus 1 purple.
That's right, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is not good. So I have a black and white fail, 3 advantages, and 1 red circle with triangle.
Ew, so 1, yeah. That is the despair.
Right.
Remember, that's real bad.
That's bad, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
I'm going to use a light thing to take that away.
You can't, actually.
Okay.
Okay. So that was Pash's roll. I can't imagine Lorix is much better, so that's about as bad as it's going to get. So you guys are sneaking your way down there.
What if Lorik would get like a lightsaber? Oh no, he doesn't have a yellow dice. Never, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, so at that point, Trex, or you guys sort of get to just the point where you're entering the cockpit, and you can hear him still muttering away in Dosh, and for that failure, I'm going to let him make 1 attack roll against you, or like have 1 round against you guys by surprise. So basically, he's what do you call it? He leaps out and screams out in Dosh, "Wookiee scum!" And let's see here. So his heavy blaster pistol is 2 yellows, 1 green. I'm going to boost it because of his catching you unawares. And bazam. Let's see here. We got. Actually, so he actually missed, but I got 5 advantage on it.
Oh wow.
So what he gets is his next attack is going to be boosted, and he gets +1 to his defense next round. So he's fires away with his heavy blaster, misses wildly, but it hits a pipe that sprays some steam or something in your guys' face. That doesn't make you harder to hit, but does affect your your next round's attacks. So now it is initiative time.
Okay.
So, and we're rolling cool because he did not. He's going to get to roll discipline instead because he knew this was coming. But I only got 1 success and 3 advantage.
I got 2 successes for Pash.
Okay.
And 1 advantage for Lork.
Okay, so because he lost, that means it'll be PC, NPC, PC. So just because Lork lost doesn't mean he has to go last. You can choose, like the party chooses which order everyone goes in. So a PC gets to act, then Trex, then another PC.
Okay, I will go with Lash first.
With Pashers. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Patch first. Yeah.
Okay. So what would he like to do?
He's going to aim and shoot.
Okay. You aim. You can't believe that failure that you rolled.
Yeah.
Chick, 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 chick. This is out of shots now too. Or the despair. So, you're like, why did you not check this? That's
Okay.
only to be a maneuver though. So you still have an action.
I'm going to switch to the heavy blaster.
Okay. So you whip that up. What you could do is you could incur 2 strain to do that as a maneuver, and then use action to attack.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. So Pash has got 2 strain. Go ahead and make your attack roll. So that let's see here. It's short range, which is 1. What do you call it? 1
Purple.
purple, and 1 black because of his defense, the success from last turn.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, it's just 3 greens.
Okay. 4 advantage.
Okay, so you fire away with this blaster rifle. What you could do is you could give a blue for 1 advantage. Give a blue to Lowork for his next action. You could give for 2. You could impose a black on the targets on Trex's next action. For 3, you could gain +1 defense, so add a black to anything targeting you. You could force the target to drop a weapon it's wielding for 3.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
What's
And
the weapon?
you can drop it. You can make him, blast it out of his hand, and you could give blue to Lowork.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so you blast away. It hits wild, but it does blast the heavy blaster out of the Trandoshan's hand. He hisses back at you, and then it's his turn. He, hisses in Dosh again. I don't need Blaster to take this beast down. And he uses his maneuver to race in at Lowork, and then he's going to try and claw him. So it is, let's see here, 3 green, 1 yellow, and 2 purple for the difficulty. I roll 1, 2 successes, and 3 advantage. So I'm spending the 3 advantage to knock the vibro axe out of Lowork's hand. So he sort of batters it out of the way and then claws at claws at him, doing 7 points of damage.
Oh boy.
So, but remember that you subtract Lowork's soak from that first.
Yep.
Soak is a 4, which means he takes 3 points of damage. Or 3 wounds. And wounds, you just count up. In this game, you just add, once the wounds exceed your wound threshold, that's when you're unconscious.
Right, okay.
Okay, so you take claws in, and it goes into the thick fur of Lowork's chest and comes out with some crimson blood. What is Lowork going to do?
Can he pick up his axe?
Yes, he can.
He's going to do that.
His maneuver, he picks it up. He's going to have to spend a maneuver to ready it as well.
Sure, yeah, he'll do that.
So Lowork takes 2 strain.
Right, yeah.
And then go ahead and try and take down this Trandoshan.
Trandoshan scum. Okay, yellow. So it's against 2 purple, and I also get 1 blue?
Yes, you do. Yeah, from what's his name's action.
Yeah. 1 hit and 3 advantage.
Ooh, nice. 3 advantage. Okay, so Let's see here.
I'm going to.
Okay, so you can do something for 3. You could.
Can I knock his weapons away so his hands fall off?
No, you cannot. What you could do is, so for 3, you could gain 1 to your melee defense. But here's what I'm going to suggest is, for 1, you could give a boost to Pash, like give a blue for him for next round. And for 2, you could impose a black on Trex's next actions.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So the damage is 8. How many successes did you roll?
1.
1. Okay, so the 8 plus 1 is 9. His soak is a 5, but you've got pierce 2, so it is 8 damage minus the soak of 3 means he takes 5 points of damage.
Nice.
5 wounds. So you cut across. He's cut in the shoulder and kind of hisses like a enormous wounded lizard. Well, that he is. Top the round. Pash's turn. What's he doing?
He will aim and fire.
Okay. Now, because here's the downside to using such a big weapon. Because he is using a big weapon in against a target that's engaged, the difficulty goes up by 2, which means that while normally it would be 1 purple, it is 1 red and 1 purple.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. But he does get the aim bonus. So the difficulty is 1 red, 1 purple, but he gets his 3 green plus 1 blue.
Right.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to spend a dark side point. So you now have 2 light side points and 1 dark side point. The difficulty is now 2 red.
Okay. Can I switch my attack?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take out the vibro knife and attack with melee style.
Well, here's another thing you could do. Is you could just basically use a light side point to boost your skill up to what your blaster skill was, or your light blaster was.
Okay.
You boost it so it'll be 1 yellow and 2 greens.
No, I'm gonna abandon it.
Okay, well it'll still. Well, the thing is, you can't really do that.
Okay.
Yeah, because like that's sort of the way that, because I've spent the dark side point, you had committed to something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if I could do that or not. Okay, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that too. I'll change a light side to a dark side, and
Okay. So you get to roll. So now the roll will be 2 reds, 1 blue, and 1 yellow, 2 greens.
okay. That was weird. It's just blank.
So everything canceled out.
Yes.
Okay, so you miss, but fortunately you don't tag Lowerk at the same time. You fire a couple more times, and it just, these sides or the walls of the Crate Fangs corridors explode out in sparks, but no one gets hit.
There's blank sides to dice too, right? Or
Some of them, yeah. On the
okay, because I got a blue and a green blank.
Yeah,
And then everything else just cancels each other out, I guess. So.
That's right. Yeah. Wow, that's cool. Okay, so that you blast away. Now it is Captain Trex's turn. Well, Trex is not pleased with Lowerk, so he's going to once again try and claw at him. So he gets his brawl. The difficulty is 2 for melee, and he gets a black die because of Lowerk's last hit. Let's see how we do here. That's 4 fails, which means it cancels out all 4 of the successes. I get 2 successes and 2 advantage.
Oh boy.
No, that's not right. I get 1 success and 2 advantage. So 1 success means it is 6 points of damage, but 4 of that is sucked up by Lowerk's soak, so you only take 2 wounds.
Okay.
So claws again and manage to tag, and then the 2 I am going to that one really hurt. It raked down the same kind of area again. So Lowerk will take a penalty of a black to all his actions next round.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now, speaking of which, it is now Lower's turn.
He will attack again with melee.
Okay. Go ahead. So your difficulty will be 2. The other thing is you can get a boost by situational advantage. I'm not saying that there is necessarily one in this cramped hallway, but if there is something that would be like a cool narrative way to make advantage, take advantage of the environment or something like that, you can get a boost from doing that.
Okay. So it's 2 yellow, 2 green.
It'll be 2 yellow, 2 green. Yep. 1 black and 2 purple.
Yep. Oh, 4 hits.
Oh shit. Okay, so 4 hits again means god damn, it's more. It's 12 damage. His soak is a 3, which means he takes 9 wounds. Wow. So that one really fucking hurt him. Through the pain, Lower kind of
Lork is remembering that it is because of this guy specifically, right?
Not you tell me, sure, why not?
Okay, yeah, maybe it's not him specifically, but whatever. He's remembering his enslavement and his capture, and he is enraged.
Yeah, and the death of his sister and nephew. So hammers this thing. That's great. I'm going to give you a boost to your next attack by Lowerk, because that's good role playing. Okay, top of the round, Pash. What are you doing? Lowerk just hammered this lizard. Oh, I lost you again.
Pash is like, I'm just as likely to hit my compatriot as hurt this guy, so he's gonna holster or like sling his heavy blaster. He's gonna take out the vibro knife.
Okay, so let's see here. It would be a maneuver to holster it.
Okay.
But he's got quick draw, so he could get the knife out as an incidental.
Right.
And then he would need another maneuver to engage.
Okay, he'll take the
2 strain.
The strain, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So you get it out and you're in. Go ahead and make so the melee attack will be 3 green and against 2 purple.
Okay. And what was there something about crits or something or?
Yes, it crits on it only costs 2 advantage to crit with it.
Okay. Well, I failed.
Oh.
But I have 3 advantage.
Okay. So 3 advantage. With 3 advantage, you're not able. You don't actually
right.
hit him. But what you could do is you could have. Oh, you have to deal damage to the target in order to do it. Let's see here. Well, you could do the same thing you did before, which is impose a black on Trex and give a blue to
sure
to Lowerk.
That sounds good.
So basically, like you try and go in with the knife, and then because him and the Wookiee are maneuvering around so much, basically what happens is you end up sort of like hanging on the top of this massive Trandoshan, and you're kind of like yelling at he's kind of thrashing around trying to get you off him. And you're screaming at Lowerk, hit him, hit him! Okay, so now Trex is actually going to try and turn his claws on Pash. So it's his brawl. Just 3 green, 1 yellow. Difficulty is 2, but he gets the black from from the distraction, and it's fucking terrible. He does. Oh, actually, no. It's really almost a zero sum. So he does turn and he sticks his claws into like kind of grabs at Pash's side, and Pash takes 6 points of damage. But his soak is a 4, so effectively he takes 2 wounds.
Okay.
So more than enough, to suck up. He also sort of uses his maneuver to try and move out of engagement with both of you guys. Now it's Lowork's turn.
He's going to move into engagement
Okay.
and swing.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll. So difficulty is 2 purples, and he gets the boost from Pasha's distraction.
Okay. 4 hits, 1 advantage.
Nice. So tell me how he ends Trex.
So Trex, seeing that he's getting the worst of these engagements, kind of he's kind of backing up at first, but then he turns around so he can get a sprint run to kind of maybe lock himself into a room or something.
Yep.
As he turns around, Lorik comes across with his axe and chops his head right off.
Nice.
Rolling down the corridor.
Awesome. So he hits the ground. What does Pash say after he sees this happen?
He's just like, I'm glad I could set it up for you.
Hey, as you're doing that, you hear kind of the sort of rolling sound of a droid moving up, and there is a R unit, astromech droid, that sort of rolls around the corner, and it's a battered old thing that's like a kind of a forest green color. It looks at you guys, and then looks down at Trex, and then kind of makes a beeping sound. What are you guys doing?
Well, Pash will say, how would you like a new captain?
It kind of like boop, 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 dances back and forth happily. You take it as yes.
Yes. Okay. And then I'll just say, okay, great. Close the bay doors.
Okay. So you guys go ahead, and you can actually get an astromech droid could install the hypermatter reactor for you. Hypermatter reactor igniter.
Okay. I'll tell him to double seal it or whatever.
Nice. Okay. So you pass along the advice. Okay. So the droid goes off and does that. You guys sit down. Lowork maybe, or do you want to? I'm guessing Lowork's going to toss the body out or something like that. Or are you waiting to toss it out into space?
Yeah, we'll airlock it.
Okay. So he pitches in the airlock. The Crate Fang thrums around you as its engines power up, lifting through the hangar bay doors and into the bright sunlight of the Tatooine sky. There's a cool little image there.
Nice. Sweet.
The
stormtroopers.
Yeah, no stormtroopers shooting at you guys. Soon Mos Shuta, actually there is. Soon Mos Shuta vanishes behind you as you race out over the Dune Sea and climb towards outer space.
Oh, we couldn't hover around and shoot the Imperial fighter ships?
Well, you remember if there are Imperials there, that means there's probably some kind of Imperial transport or Star Destroyer in orbit, which means yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The TIE fighters. But suddenly, an alert klaxon blares. As you leave Tatooine's atmosphere, several spherical starfighters with distinctive hexagonal wind assemblies appear on the ship's scanner, screaming in on an intercept course. TIE fighters. The starfighters shoot past, laser cannons blazing, and sparks fly from a console in the cockpit. You've been hit. You're not clear of the planet's gravity well yet, so you can't jump to light speed without the hyperspace reactor igniter installed. You'll have to deal with these TIE fighters first. So
okay.
I got to run to the washroom quickly. You will have 6 rounds until the hypermatter reactor igniter is ready, and you can jump to hyperspace. But I'm going to take a piss, grab some more water, and then we will talk about how space combat works.
Sounds good.
Ugh.
Hello?
Okay, so space combat in this works. Oh, there you go. So space combat works kind of like it did. Did you play the Star Trek one shot with us or not?
No, I did not.
Okay, cool. So basically, it's running a starship in this. If it's a large enough starship where it has different crew members, is kind of like a team exercise. Everyone gets to sort of pick their, pick a role, and then there's certain things they can do in the starship. So things like in the Crate Fang, a gunner, engineer, and pilot are all positions, and you can actually fit 2 gunners. Gunners can attack with starship weapons, and they can aim just like as a maneuver, just like you can on in normal combat. The pilot, so the engineer can do damage control as an action. What damage control is you make a mechanics check, and then each success that you get in it repairs 1 hull trauma. And hull trauma is just like wounds, but for spaceships. Or it can heal strain, because ships suffer strain the same way that, people do. The pilot has 2 different maneuvers he can choose from. One of them is evasive maneuvers, which means that the difficulty of attacks by both that ship and anything targeting it are 1 higher. The converse, it can stay on target, which means it kind of flies a straight line. It upgrades the attack. So green becomes a yellow, or you add a new green for both attacks against it and attacks it makes. So there's evasive maneuvers, fire on target, boom, one gives a bonus to attacks, one gives a penalty to being attacked. Now that sounds shitty, but there's another action that the pilot can take, which is gain the advantage. And what you're trying to do is sort of like trying to line it up so that you can take advantage of the evasive maneuvers thing without suffering the penalty. Okay, so the way you do that is you make a piloting check against because of the size of the Crate Fang versus the size of TIE fighters, it is a hard check. It is 3 purple. Okay. And if he's successful, that means that only attacks against the ship are upgraded. It doesn't give only the difficulty of attacks against it are upgraded, not the attacks by the gunners.
You know what would be cool? Have you ever played the Star Wars miniatures tabletop game?
No, I haven't.
It'd be cool if you kind of did like that for the space battle. Like it would be not possible through Skype, but it's just like, I don't know, it would just be kind of interesting to do that.
You'll see how this works. The reason I really like, or one of the reasons why I like this game is because space combat is abstracted in the same way that the on planet combat is, but it means that it runs really fast. It feels like the crazy battles that Star Wars features,
right?
And it means that it doesn't become a massive undertaking,
right?
In every other version of Star Wars that I've run, like as soon as you get into space combat, it's like, oh fuck, now we got to get out a whole different set of rules and yeah. So okay,
That would take forever. My idea would take forever. It would be like a whole other game.
There's some value to that because it gives it some tactical depth and blah blah blah. But this, I think that there's ways to do that, but still keep it a fun narrative thing, right? Okay, so the things you need to keep track of for the Crate Fang. The Crate Fang has a defense. It's deflector shields. A defense of 1. Oh, sorry, what was that, Nick?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. So the defense of 1, which means that it adds a black die to any attacks against it.
Okay.
Okay, it has an armor of 3, and armor works just like soap. And it has a hull trauma threshold of 22. So it's essentially its wound threshold is 22. The system strain threshold is 14. So when it's under strain, if it gets over 14, it shuts down. The TIE Fighter is a lot more fragile, and TIE Fighters work like minions as well. So no strain. They take their actions all together, and there are 3 of them. They're more dangerous in packs than they are individually. So what roles do Pash and Lorik want to take? Pilot, gunner, engineer?
I imagine. Can you hear me?
Sorry?
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, good. I imagine Pash wants to do pilot. Lorik will want to do gunner.
Okay.
What's the gunner skill?
What's this? The gunnery. Uses gunnery. Lorik actually has 1 point in gunnery. He's got 1 yellow, 2 green.
Oh, there, yeah, I see it now. Yeah. And then robot does engineering.
Lorik, well, you can only do 1 role. You can either be a gunner or an engineer.
No, I said robot.
Oh, robot. He's sort of getting the what do you call it? The hypermatter reactor injector ready to go. So he's sort of occupied doing that. What you could do is you could add a round. You have 6 rounds until you can go to hyperspace. You could have that thing, the R robot, the R series robot, do an engineering task instead of getting it ready. So basically stall for 1 round if you wanted to do to have it do damage control. I think your audio may have cut out again.
Does Pash even need to pilot?
Um,
If all we're doing is getting that thing ready.
Unless, like, if you don't want to do evasive maneuvers or something else to try and shake things off.
So you can do that. Okay.
No, like, you need a pilot to be able to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We'll We'll do it. I guess the positions that we're in, and then if we need an engineer, we'll grab somebody for that.
Grab the robot. Okay. So what do you do for initiative? We use piloting. So just make a piloting skill check for Pash. And okay, the other thing is each. Remember I mentioned the handling. Handling's another thing in it. The Crate Fang has a -1 handling, which means it would normally add 1 black die, but because of Pash's ability, he doesn't suffer that penalty.
Oh right. Okay. So and what's he rolling against?
+3. Oh my gosh. He's just against nothing. This is just initiative. So
Okay.
Successes and advantages is what you want to count.
So 4 successes, 1 advantage.
You actually I got 3 successes and 2 advantage. So Pash, that means the Crate Fang gets to go first. So there are 3 TIE fighters that are converging in on you guys. Sorry, there are 2 TIE fighters converging in on you guys. As what do you call it? As you're trying to make the escape, there are 6 rounds until hyperspace. What are you going to do?
I will do, I guess, evasive maneuvers for Pash.
Yep.
And shooting for,
evasive maneuvers is a maneuver, and for his action, I'm guessing you want to gain the advantage.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and make a. It will be a piloting check against difficulty of 3 purple.
2 successes and 2
Threat.
threats.
Okay, so what that means is as you start maneuvering it, you start jerking the the control stick back and forth. The Crate Fang rocks back and forth in this evasive way, making it making a difficult line for the TIE fighters to follow. Unfortunately, you're pushing the old girl a little too far, so it suffers. Sparks fly out of the behind you as it suffers 2 points of strain. So what this means is Lowrick doesn't suffer any penalties to his attack, but the TIE fighters do. So Lowrick, I'm guessing, wants to aim and then fire against these guys.
Yes.
Okay, so difficulty, because it's based on the range and the size of the ships, will be 2. But he does get the 1 blue from aiming.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a gunnery against 2 purples.
Gunnery.
1 blue.
One hit and 3 advantage.
Nice. Okay. So the hit, holy fuck, sure got cold. It was like -3 earlier on today. It's -18.
Oh, really?
Yeah, good God. That's
What's
gonna
the difference?
Yeah, it's gonna suck walking the dog. Okay, so 3 advantage with a starship. Yep. I should look it up. You can do the same 2 things that you did last time, where you could boost a what do you call it? You could boost Pash's next action and give a black a setback die to the TIE fighters, or you could spend 3 advantage to have the shot temporarily damage a component of the attacker's choice rather than deal hull damage or system strain. Now that means instead of taking damage, and the damage of the Crate Fang's laser cannon is 6. How many successes did you roll?
1.
1. Okay, so it'd be 7 damage, which is not quite enough to destroy. It's enough to really damage one of the TIE fighters. Oh, you could force the target to veer off, which would break any aim maneuvers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you fire, you clip one of them. There's sparks flying out of it, and they will not be able to aim this turn.
Okay.
So they're basically just going to have to make an attack now. So their turn, come screaming in that unique TIE fighter sound. Their blasters fire, and we got 1 success. That's it. So they fire. The damage for the TIE fighters is 6. Plus 1 is 7, and the Crate Fang's armor is. Oh, hold up! I forgot to roll your shields. No, they miss. So the deflector shields, I forgot to add the black die for your deflector shields. The TIE fighters fire. The Crate Fang rocks as it's hit, but the deflector shields thankfully hold. And now it's top of the round. Pash's turn. What's he doing? Nope, I may have lost your audio again.
He will do the same thing.
It is 5 rounds until hyperspace.
Yeah,
Okay.
is that a bad thing? Or?
No, it's good. That means 5 rounds until you get to,
Yeah.
get out of here. So go ahead and make your gain the advantage check.
This is pilot,
Yeah, piloting check.
and it's against.
A hard, so 3 purple.
Right. Just 1 success.
That's all you need. Okay, so you got, once again, and it should have been harder. The difficulty should have been harder. I fucked up last time. I'm going to flip one of the.
I'm going to re-roll.
No. It's my fuck up. The difficulty of the TIE fighters to hit you would have been higher. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over. There are now 2 light side points and 1 dark side point.
Okay.
Okay. So then it is Lowrick's turn. So Lowrick can aim again and go ahead and open up on those TIE fighters.
Okay.
That Wookiee in the little like pod. You think of the scene from New Hope. Just replace Luke with a Wookiee.
And that's against 3 as well?
Against 2. No, 2 purple.
Right. Just 2 advantage.
Just 2 advantage. Okay. So 2 advantage, you could impose another black on them, or you could give a blue to Pash for his next one.
I'll give a black to them.
Black to them. Awesome. Okay. So their attack is going to be 2 black. Their difficulty, and then 1 red and 1 purple for the their skill, and the difficulty is 1 red, 1 purple. Let's see how they do. So the 2 of them come streaming in, and I just rolled a despair for them, and I don't think I rolled any successes. Success is canceled. Yeah. Okay. So they come in. That means they suffer 2 strain, which means one of them, they fly in, one of them hits the other one, unfortunately, because the other one, the maneuverability was screwed up by Lowrick's last shot. They hits, it pinwheels, the wing flies off, and then the little ball explodes into a blossom of flame. It brings itself down. I will allow Lowrick to make a quick shot against it. Go ahead and make a gunnery attack.
Sure.
Against 2 purple.
1 hit, 2 advantage.
Wham! This thing explodes into. It basically was thrown into the arc of your blast, and it explodes out. It is now 4 rounds until hyperspace.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you're not out of the woods yet. You can see that there are 2 more TIE fighters that are closing in. Wow! And will be here next round. What do you guys want to do for this round?
Can I use my light point? My force?
Your light side point?
Yeah.
Yeah. To do what?
Can I? Would it be good for me to create, because of my piloting skill? Would it be good, like, if I could edit the scene so that there's an asteroid field?
Sure.
Yeah.
There's maybe some what do you call it? Some debris, or maybe like there could be ships coming in. You could be have maneuvered yourself towards a
Caravan or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, sure, let's do that.
You're okay, sure. You know what I'll do is I will make you, if you're trying to sort of like shake or lose the TIE fighters, why don't you make a piloting check against, and I'll give you a boost because it's a really good idea. Against 2 purple and 1 red. That's their piloting.
Okay. And then I go against my pilot?
Against your pilot, and then also boost it.
One hit and 1 bad thing.
1 threat.
1 threat.
Okay. That means the Crate Fang suffers another point of strain as you kind of, hammer the control stick into a difficult position. But what it means is that you are able to maneuver the Crate Fang into sort of the lane, a group of outbound ships, and you see the TIE fighters scream over them, and you can hear over the because you were in Imperial Flight School at one point, you sort of tune it to the Imperial comms, and you can hear them say, "Where is it? Where is it? I've lost it." And that lasts for about you're flying tense along for another couple of seconds until you hear the whoop, 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 whoop from elsewhere from over the comm, the droid saying that the hypermatter reactor igniter is ready.
Nice.
So you drop into drop the activator for it. The nav computer has made the calculations. The stars kind of become streams around you, and pow! You soar off into hyperspace. The scene cuts to the bridge of a like the stark and sterile bridge of a Imperial bridge, an Imperial starship. And you see there's a guy dressed in the navy grays of the Imperial Navy who's staring out the window into space, and it sits above that ochre-colored planet we saw at the opening of the adventure. Another lesser officer walks over to him and says, "Captain Hendrick, it appears that the Krayt Fang has disappeared. It has made the jump to hyperspace." And you see very quietly, so no one other than himself hears, this captain mutters under his breath, "Pash." He turns without another word to the junior officer. The junior officer says, "Should we set a pursuit course?" The captain shoots him a look that could inflict damage itself had it been a physical strike, as if to say, "Of course you do that, you idiot." He turns back wordlessly and starts storming back towards the off the bridge. And at that point, we see the whole thing would iris in. We would hear the Star Wars theme soar up, and we would see the created by George Lucas thing, bringing our intro adventure to a close. Your audio is not working. Do you want to unplug it and plug it back in for a sec?
Created by Kevin Madison.
Created by, yeah. So that is the, what do you call it? That's the new Star Wars game. What do you think?
It was great. I loved it.
Didn't it? Okay. So if you were making characters, what you would do is like the abilities, the talents that you picked for your character. What you do is you pick when creating a character, you pick a species, which gives you your starting characteristics. You pick a career, which like the guys you played were hired gun and smuggler. And then you pick a specialization for those. And the specialization gives you the a talent tree, okay? And then what you do is you would buy your talents, and then there are prerequisites that are set by the different, kind of things. Over time, you can learn other specializations as well in your career or from other careers. And then when you're creating, so you create the character by pick your species, pick your career, which gives you 3 skills, pick your specialization, which gives you 2 more skills, and then you spend amount of XP, usually about 100 or so, to then customize your character. And then that's sort of your, like, what you were playing with is not quite a starting level characters. And then as you gain each session, you gain XP and you get to further, specialize your character. It's very, very cool. Not like, I think it plays really fucking well and feels a lot like Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I also love that it's the kind of game like IK where I can throw XP at you guys each session and not worry about breaking the game.
What about for Force characters?
Force characters are very similar. They have what do you call it? They have talent trees as well, but then they also can learn Force powers are kind of like mini talent trees as well. So you get the base power like move or sense or influence or so forth, those things, and then the talent tree thing allows you to customize it in terms of how powerful it is, how many people it affects, how precise it is, and then other extra effects you can do with it. So that's how you, like, Force users will probably end up having to invest most of their XP into getting all those things rather than being able to diversify, I guess, the way that other characters do.
Right.
So, which is, I think, is a good trade-off. Like between the three games, I'm going to send you an email that has all. Well, you'll have versions of these rules. Actually, let me just.
It's kind of like in Pathfinder or D&D and stuff. Like Magic users are usually really good at Magic, but they're usually not good at melee. They're usually not like good skill monkeys.
Well, the cool thing is you can make like there is sort of like force equivalents of a lot of them though. Like so like the different there are 6 different careers in each of the 3 games. Okay, so and some of these are sort of overlap, but each of them is a unique thing, and each of the careers has 3 different specializations in it. So you've got 18 careers with 3 specializations each. And in the base books, you've got 19 species.
Oh, wow.
You get a huge amount of variety between it. And the careers, like for Edge of Empire, the careers are bounty hunter, colonist, explorer, hired gun, smuggler, and technician. For Age of Rebellion, it is ace, commander, diplomat, engineer, soldier, and spy. And for the Force and Destiny, it is consular, guardian, mystic, seeker, sentinel, and warrior. And it's cool because in Force and Destiny, each of those force-wielding ones has a specific Jedi style or lightsaber style.
Oh, okay.
So if you choose, I mean, you can build non-Jedi characters with those rules as well. But if you want to play a Jedi, then each of those classes has a very specific and unique kind of lightsaber technique that that allows it to play differently and feel different from other types, right? It's a really neat for guys like you and Brent and Steve who like tinkering with their characters a lot, and Jeff who like tinkering or pre-planning their characters. There's a fuck ton of options that you can kind of play over in your mind.
Right.
There's expanded rule books for it too that introduce a bunch of new species, but like the species with the sheer amount of different species and career combos and specialty combos, it's just crazy how much how many different potential characters you can have. You get to see your character advance every adventure, because the suggested amount of XP is between 10 and 25. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, that gives you lots of options.
Oh yeah, like to raise a skill to raise a career skill costs you 5 times what you're raising it to.
Okay.
To raise a non-career skill is 5 times what you're raising it to plus 5. And then talents have 5 different tiers. They go from 5-point talents down to 25-point for the bottom tier ones. And then it costs you 10 times the number of to gain access to a new specialty. It's 10 times the number of specialties you would have after you add that one. So your second specialty, which gives you a second talent tree to buy from, would cost you 20 if it's from your career. And it costs that plus 10 if it's from another career. So if you're playing a hired gun and you want to gain access to a smuggler's talent tree, it would cost, and it's your second one, it would cost you 30 XP to gain access to it. And the other thing is that not only does it give you the talent trees, it also makes the career skills from that talent tree then become your career skills as well. So it gives you a discount on skills that may fit in that specialties category.
So it's kind of like multi-classing, kind of.
Yeah, it's more so like it makes it's more expensive because you're spending a little bit more of your money to gain access to those.
Right.
But the upside is the utility or the variety you get with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's what do you call it? It's you get an advantage because you get to gain access to more things. But the downside is it's money or XP rather you could be spending on other things. Another cool thing is that there are terrific rules for customizing weapons, customizing armor, customizing starships, customizing vehicles. So you can tweak out your blaster or your lightsaber or your, Mandalorian armor or your, I don't know, your land speeder or whatever.
That's great. So you don't have to just wait around for something new to pop up.
No.
And hopefully get it. You can actually modify what you have.
Yeah, and it's great because it goes in small stages. So there's you can customize something. Each thing has a certain number of hard points, which sets how many different modifications it can accept. And then there are certain classes that allow you to add more hard points. So it allow you to do more modifications to vehicles.
Okay.
And then those hard points can be spent you gain access to base modifications, and then those modifications have further specialization within them. So there's gradations of kind of improvement, and there's, with your weapons or your armor or really your gear, it gives you the option or gives you something else to sort of work towards, as you're advancing your character.
Right.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really it's a really interesting game, and everyone I've run this for so far has had the same response you have, which is that it what do you think of the dice mechanic? It's with the whole advantage threat.
I actually really liked it. I mean, this web page makes it like super easy.
Yeah, it's funny, it's faster. Like I went out and got the dice with it, but it's the online dice roller is actually faster than this.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it takes a little bit just to get like what all the symbols are doing.
Yeah.
But if it does everything for you and just calculates your result, it's not a problem to pick up at all. Like I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I love the narrative aspect to it too. Like there's a lot of it's fun seeing how much it can, try to figure out what advantage you get when you fail, or what the threat is when you succeed. I love that quality to it because it really makes I think it makes the combats feel more, from a DM's perspective, they're much more interesting because I'm constantly having to come up with explanations for the dice results.
Yeah. I really like that too because it's like not every, like whatever, like let's say you're succeeding all the time, but it's like, okay, you're succeeding, but like maybe they get advantage or something, which makes sense. Maybe they see like a weakness, or maybe you slip up in some way or whatever, right? You could still succeed. It's more realistic kind of that way.
Absolutely. Like it gives you gradations there of success, or qualities of success, which is really neat. And I love that the dice mechanic of being able to add boosts or drawbacks without adding blue dice or black dice without it completely fucking up your chance of success is awesome.
Yeah, like for fifth edition, for example, like advantage and disadvantage, generally that's like a really big thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you can roll two d20s or whatever every turn, or and take the highest or lowest, generally, it's really going to get you advantage or really give you a disadvantage. And there's hardly anything moderate in that.
Well, one interesting thing is that you're more likely to get either a threat on a black dice or an advantage on a blue dice than you are a success or a failure. So it's more likely to affect the quality of the success than it is the actual success or failure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is interesting because it means, I just think it's a really clever mechanic, and it's a really it's unlike anything else that I've run, and it just feels so Star Wars. Like, we've talked a lot of times with some of these other games about, we've run X amount of combats, but it's like 6 or 7 combat we ran in the span of the 3 hours we played.
Yeah,
that's bananas. And I mean, I think that they all felt different too, right? Because of the crazy die results.
For sure.
Yeah,
like fighting like the soldiers or like the stormtroopers compared to fighting the captain.
Yeah,
huge difference.
Yeah. Which is the way it really should feel too, right? Like, yeah. But cool. Well, that was awesome. Nick, I'm so glad you're able to join us again. I hope you can join us on Sunday with whatever the hell we end up playing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say for the folks that are listening at home, thanks so much for joining us again. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we'll see you next time on the Live from the Sword Coast podcast.